Hey, folks, my guest today is David Okinyev. If you listen to the show, you know we've had Typeform on many times. Last time David and I spoke, he was launching Typeform's official second product, Video Ask. He's now onto something more exciting. We're going to talk about it today. David, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah.
All right. So you just like going from 0 to 1, right? You're like, once it breaks 1 million in revenue, you get bored, you move on to the next product, huh?
Well, a bit further than that, but yeah, I like the early stage of product building and being a small team. It's where the juice is.
So pick up where we left off with Video Ask, and we'll dive into the new product. So when you came on last, you were just launching the paywall. I think you had broke 1.2 million maybe in ARR, but what's the status of that today? How's it
Yeah,
going?
the product's around 3 million in ARR, and so I stepped away from it around 6 months ago because I'm basically I run a very small R&D team, and we split up new products, and Video Ask was one of those new products. And then we built up the team around that, and then I handed that over to the product team in Typeform. And now I'm working on a new product with just me and another developer. And yeah, we're actually about to release it. Well, start to beta release it with a few people. So
Mhm.
yeah,
This
excited.
is gr- this is okay. There's a bunch of stuff to unpack here. So I guess first off, you left Video Ask when it broke 3 million in revenue. Did anything change
No,
about like
before that, like around
before?
something. Yeah.
And so what did you? I mean, how did you know it was ready to sort of pass off and that it wouldn't just crash and burn if you stopped focusing on it?
Well, it was more of a case that, I there was another idea coming up, and I wanted to explore the audio and meeting space, the voice, let's say async audio and meeting space. And it's quite a hot space now. So I wanted to jump into that. And so I think it was time to move on.
Yeah, you're seeing sort of Slack ad in the bottom left. Hey, use audio to send messages or do a walkie-talkie style sort of thing. This is the
Yeah,
space you're in
there's
now.
there's a bunch of products on the market doing async audio and also meeting insights. We're trying to combine the two, like async conversations for less, so that you have less meetings, and then using AI to enhance actual meetings, and then actually even combining the two. Imagine starting a conversation async via voice, then jumping into a meeting, and then doing the follow-ups with voice as well in an async, well, async essentially.
So what's the name of the product?
It's called Relayed or Relayed, however you want to spell it. Sorry, pronounce it. RELAYED.ai. And yeah, the promise is fewer, better meetings essentially. And we're just about to start letting people into the beta. So just head off to the website and register, and we'll let you in soon.
How many on the beta list right now?
Well, I just the only thing we've done so far is I did a LinkedIn post like last month, and probably have a few hundred there. So hopefully now we'll get a few more people in, and Typeform will promote it as well. So we'll start pushing it. But it's been pretty much under wraps up till now.
So I think what's interesting here for anyone listening is right. You guys are not. I mean, this is not a small company, right? I mean, you guys. I believe you. I mean, you just did 135 million Series C at a 935 million valuation, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
That was pre-money or post?
post money valuation.
Okay, post. So flirting with sort of unicornish status. And last time you came on the show, I mean, you said ARR was right around 48 million in ARR. What you guys are like 70 now, right?
A bit more than that.
Bit more. So like the fact that you've sort of and you were one of the original founders, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're two co-founders.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. So the fact that you've been able to sort of create this little niche instead of a much larger company where you are able to stay very nimble and flexible and basically be the R&D team, I think is really interesting to learn about. So what is the team today, right? So like the R&D team you're leading, name the roles of the people on that team.
It's just two people.
Really, just you and an engineer.
Now we're two. So I act as product manager, designer, and now I'm doing front end development as well. And then I work with a guy called Neil, who's just a fantastic like product person, super all-rounded, back end, front end, just also great product ideas. And we make a duo basically in the company, and yeah, we're spinning up these new products. I mean, just to go back to why this is happening, I think we're kind of repeating what we did in the beginning with Typeform. We were just, product designers trying to solve a problem, and then we had to become managers and, CEOs. I was co-CEO with my co-founder, and eventually that had its date on it, and we grew tired of that, and we wanted to get back to product. My co-founder eventually left the company, but I carried on with the premise of being able to spin up new products and explore innovation within the vision of Typeform. And that's basically what I'm doing. So I did Typeform, then I did Video Ask, and now I'm doing Relayed.
That's very interesting. So how do you, let's say you launch the paywall here in a couple of weeks, it starts to go off, you need more resources. How do you get more resources, engineers, whatever, on this product outside of the main company?
Well, we're not launching a paywall in 2 weeks, but if we were and we needed to scale up the team, with Video Ask, we didn't hire too much internally. We just gradually put people in the team. Honestly, like I'm a big believer you don't need that many people to launch a product, and actually sometimes the more people you add to it, sometimes the slower you go. So, we'll do a beta now. It's just the two of us. We'll probably add another engineer just to give us a little bit more grunt. And then we'll need to build the paywall and all that stuff, maybe add an extra engineer. And then beyond that, we've got to see how it goes. But I do want to keep things nimble because I think you can move really fast if you have the right people.
And what's driving this sort of R&D roadmap? Is it really whatever you're curious about? Or do you have some systematic way to capture feedback from your user base and that's what's driving?
Nothing systematic. Just the same way that Typeform was built and Video Ask was built. We just wanted to make more human interactions around data collection. So that's Typeform and Video Ask. Relayed goes a bit of a tangent to that because it's not purely data collection. It's more about messaging and conversation. But Typeform is all about helping businesses have better relationships internally, externally. So we think of a purely conversational tool could be really useful. Plus, we have our day-to-day lives at work is a lot of conversations, and sometimes they can be really inefficient. They can take a lot of time. So we're trying to make it as helpful as possible to try and help save people time so they can do more of their best work.
And if Relayed takes off and works out perfectly, what does the world look like in 2 to 3 years?
In terms of,
Well, if everyone's using Relayed, right? Let's say your vision of what it should be
oh,
works and gets adopted. What does the world look like?
obviously that would be great. I mean, that means that people are not jumping into meetings immediately. Whenever they have something that they want to say, they can actually resolve a lot of things very quickly just by hearing each other's voices. And then also because part of the product is very much about capturing meetings from Zoom, analyzing them, splitting them into chapters, getting insights. So we really want to help people that might miss a meeting to catch up very quickly, or to share meetings with other people so they can get the insights and go through it really quickly. I mean, I don't know how many times you've been shared a Zoom recording of a meeting, and you can't sit there watching the whole Zoom recording. You want to just be able to just get the nuggets out and really quickly, try to zoom in on certain sections. So what we've built is basically an inbox for all those kind of, for that kind of communications to ingest your Zoom meetings. Later, it will be other types of meetings as well, but right now we're focusing on Zoom. Also, the inbox will be able to handle the async conversations with just audio messages as well. So it's something to try. It's something quite new. So it's quite exciting to be able to explore something a bit away from pure data collection and forms.
And David, I mean, you're selling this. People are getting excited listening. Maybe a question they're thinking is, wait, why is David building this inside a Typeform? Why not spin it out as its own thing? Why is that?
I don't know. I'm loyal. I don't know. Look, one good thing about being able to do it inside the company is that there's not the same pressures that founders have when they start a new product in terms of being able to get it funded and running out of funding, etc. So it's quite a comfortable situation for me, and I'm free to really explore without too much pressure. Obviously, I'm trying to deliver products, and they might not all work, but there is a space to be able to experiment and see what sticks.
Yep. And how many customers across the whole company today? I think last time it came on, you guys were breaking 100,000.
I don't have the latest numbers on top of me. Must be 130, 40. Not sure that the latest numbers.
130. That's great. And then you were very proud last time it came on, still profitable. It's going to be hard to stay profitable when you raise 135 million.
No, actually, well, we've actually started investing a lot more in growing the team. We're nearing 500 people, so we are, we flirted with being profitable, and then we've reinvested now. So, just trying to get onto a new growth curve. Next stage of Typeform, trying to bring in more enterprise features, but as well trying to make Typeform more relevant in people's processes, right? Not just being a form, but being really embedded inside people's day-to-day businesses.
Yeah, we're a customer. We feed all our Typeform data directly into our Airtable, which is like our marketing database, right, for our team. So we are very dependent on Typeform and our user flows, and we love it. Of the 135 million, how much that was secondary?
I can't disclose.
Can you give a more or less than 50%? Can you give a range?
No, it was much less than 50%.
Much less than 50. And then strategically, why is it? I mean, you've been around since 2011, so there are first employees sitting on options that with no ability to cash in. Obviously, you want to release that pressure valve a little bit, right? What was the importance of doing some?
We did that in the last round before. We didn't actually do this on this round.
Okay.
There was oversubscribed.
So secondary in terms of this round is more like early investors selling their stake, or you founders taking some money off the table.
There's a combination of both, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But just to be clear, the Series B you did back in 2017, you said you did some secondary.
We did allow employees to sell, if I remember, up to 50% of what they actually had. So there was quite a bit to take off the table, but it was much earlier.
Yeah. In terms when you say what they had, what they had already vested, right?
Yeah, of what they had vested, they could sell up to 50%. I think that was what we did. Can't quite remember, but yeah.
And what's next step? I mean, you say, I guess we look at this Elon news. Private is the new public, I guess. But do you want to run or help run a publicly traded SaaS company in the next 2 or 3 years, or no?
That's not my ambition, but let's see where Typeform goes. I mean, in the next 2-3 years, we're definitely going to be in that area of considering it. So let's see. But who knows? I mean, everything's kind of trending down, so not a great time to be thinking about an IPO, or well, definitely not doing one. So let's see.
Did you guys have term sheets before sort of the downturn above $1 billion valuation? Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
the timing was quite good, I have to say,
for the timing was good for them or for you?
for us. For
Yeah.
us, because yeah, it happened just before the downturn.
Okay, so what I was asking is, you didn't have term sheets for like $1.5 billion and raising 135 million, and then they took them back and give you a lower
No,
valuation. You timed it perfectly.
no. What I'd say is that um, if we were raising today, it would be harder to get those valuations because the multiples have gone down now, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. Any strategic partners in the round?
As in like smaller angels that
Who
came
who
in.
who led? Who led the 135?
Safina, which is a Belgian company. I'm actually from Belgium, so it's quite funny that they end up leading. But we also brought in some other US investors. Also, our current investors reinvested as well. So
Yeah, that's great. All right, so 490-ish, approaching 500 on the team. Nice little R&D outfit going here, hoping to change the way teams work by building, again, data collection, interactions, etc. Seems like really asynchronous. If Relayed works, there's going to be a lot more asynchronous communication, less watching Zoom videos, searching for key moments, right? It's all going to be organized data.
yeah, I mean, what we're hoping to do is that you can start I think I mentioned this, but start a conversation, prepare people for a meeting, async, jump into the meeting, get all the insights, and then if there's any follow-ups after, you can just package that all into one conversation, which we call a relay. So let's see.
And last question on this before we wrap up: why not go buy a tool that already has some traction in the space and build on that?
No, that's just not something we've considered. I think it's also because we're this is a bit of a moonshot, and it was not something strategic that we said like we need to look in this area. This is just something that I'm leading, so I think we can do it our way and probably have a better result.
No technical debt to deal with, no customer transitions, none of that stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, David, let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's the last book that you read?
Humankind.
Humankind. Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No, not studying anyone.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building? We'll do Relayed.
Well, we just use just coding really. I use Figma to design, and coding in React and a bunch of other technologies.
And number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
At the moment, not too bad, like 7 hours.
It's pretty good. And what situation? Married, single, kids?
I'm married, got kids.
Still 3 kids?
3 kids, but 2 from previous marriage.
Yeah,
one is not my is not from this marriage. My wife has another kid as well. So
3 kiddos. That's great. And did you celebrate a birthday? Are you 45 now or still 44?
45. Yeah.
45. Very good. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Sorry?
Something you wish you knew back when you were 20.
Something that I wish I knew when I was 20. I probably answered this the same way before because I think you asked me. Everything's going to be okay.
You're remarkably consistent. Figma was the same. Kids were the same. 20-year advice was the same.
Yes, that's right. I'm done with having more kids, that's for sure.
Fair enough. Guys, there you hear it. David, co-founder of Typeform, launched in 2011, broke $1 million in revenue back in, call it 2014. Now up above 70 million bucks in ARR, just raised 135. Very small portion of that was secondary at a 935 million post-money valuation, but now working on a very cool new tool called Relay. Just him and another engineer inside of Typeform. They're launching the beta here shortly after David posted about it on LinkedIn and built a sort of beta list of a couple hundred folks. We'll see what happens. David, thanks for taking us to the top.
Okay, thanks.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.